everyone, what's up? Welcome to my kitchen. Today I am doing a recipe video with my brand new 2-in-1 Instant Pot and Air Fryer, and I am so pumped for this. I wanted an Instant Pot for a little while, but I always thought it was like a little bit intimidating. So shout out to Michelangelo for sponsoring this video. If you've never heard of Michelangelo, they are a German cookware company and they've been around for 80 years. They're constantly bringing out new technology, and honestly, this little piece of equipment is so tech heavy, but I am really excited to explore it in more options and ways, and you'll be seeing it a lot here on my channel and also my new channel, Running on Plants. So like I said, this is a 2-in-1, and all of the things that you see actually come with this Instant Pot slash air fryer. It came with the basket, it came with 2 different lids, it came with different utensils. It is an awesome piece of equipment, and Michelangelo was super awesome to not only gift me this piece, but also to give you guys a gift as well. Down in the description box, there is a link where you guys can actually get 20% off your own piece, so make sure you check it out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to get back with you. But the recipes I'm gonna show you today are super easy. They're more like a dump and go dinner and lunch ideas, but also you could use them as meal prep like I am doing this week. And spoiler alert, the best recipe is at the end. I actually make a vegan queso, and honest to God, it is so good. I've had people been telling me for weeks to make this, and finally I decided to do it in the Instant Pot instead of on the stove, just to kind of keep heat down in my house and see how it would kind of play out. Let me tell you, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It'll probably be on my rotation, and I will probably make it every few days, and I'll probably eventually take a bath in queso, because like in reality, you should be filling your bathtub with this vegan queso, getting copious amounts of tortilla chips, and sitting in your bathtub and eating chips and queso with jalapenos on top. Anybody else like jalapenos on top of their chips and queso? Let me know in the comments below. So let's get into this recipe video. It's gonna be a super fun one. Like I said, it can be dinner, lunch, meal prep ideas, but you're gonna wanna stick around for that queso recipe at the end. Also, as always, all the recipes are linked in my description box below. Just click the link to my blog. It'll take you over to the recipes, so that way you can screenshot them or save them. Super convenient, super easy, then you won't lose track of them. All right, here is recipe number 1. This is like a potato melody, or even a roast, if you will. I am using these field roast sausages, breakfast sausages. I've never had them before, but I got them in my Imperfect Foods box. And then I'm also using these really cute potatoes because I love potatoes and I love all different kinds. I thought that'd be really cute. I'm adding a jalapeno for some spice. You can niche that if you don't like spicy foods, and carrots, and an onion. I'm gonna get all these chopped up, and then we're gonna put this meal together. So these potatoes are so good. Again, I love all potatoes, but I thought it would be fun to do like a smaller potato. I personally don't peel my carrots. I've read a lot of benefits to just washing them and leaving the peel on, because you get a lot of essential vitamins. So if you like to peel yours, peel them. I'm not peeling mine. Like I said, if you don't like spicy, leave out the jalapeno. But this was such an amazing meal. This was going to be a dinner for the week, but I decided to make this ahead of time, and then we could kind of snack on it for the weekend and have it for a couple meals, and I'm so happy that I did. I actually had this for breakfast. I did add about a 1/4 cup of water. I knew that the vegetables would also add some liquid to this when it was cooking, but I wanted to add a little bit more water, because worst case scenario, you just drain it out and it adds a little bit more. Now, spoiler alert, these sausages are so good. This is not something I've been eating in the last month and a half. I'll have tofu, or I'll have tempeh, or something like this maybe once or twice a week. It doesn't technically fall into the starch solution category, because Dr. McDougall over at the Starch Solution believes that you should have just as much natural food as possible and not as many soy meats. I showed you the packaging there just to kind of show you, but these are really, really good. They have a great breakfast flavor. They have such a good like maple flavor to them, which might seem weird. I'm gonna wash my hands and then go start it back up. Might be weird to put a maple flavor in there, but let me tell you, with the potatoes and the carrots and the onion, it was so good. So I'm just showing you here, I'm checking to make sure that it is on the right spout, making sure my lid is closed, and then I put this on pressure cook. Turn it on, put on pressure cook, I think for just like 16 minutes or something. It turned out perfect. I'll show you here what I put on. 17 minutes, 16. Nope, just kidding. I put it on for 9 minutes. I can't remember what I started it on, but this turned out perfect. If you have an Instant Pot, let me know below if you're going to make this recipe. If you are just complete starch solution, you can leave out the sausages, but they're good for a treat. It was a great weekend meal. This was so tender, and I think adding the water, you can see it's steaming up a little bit, was a perfect like amount to add just to get those potatoes cooked really well. I actually had this, if I didn't already say, for breakfast this day, because I was actually making this meal so we could go to the pool and hang out and then come home and just eat this. I would eat this cold, I would eat this hot, I would eat this on a boat, I would eat this with a fox. It was delicious. And here is a serving. The carrots, oh my gosh, these are so good. So I would say this makes about 6 servings, but you can do whatever you'd like with it. Okay, recipe number 2 is a rice recipe. If you don't use purple cabbage, you can use a different kind of cabbage, but spoiler alert, if you use purple, your whole dish is purple and it's so beautiful. So I highly recommend using purple cabbage. I just used a half of a head, but for the rice, you're going to use 2 cups of liquid to 1 cup of rice. Some people do vegetable broth. I just personally do water. I've never been a broth person. I've used it for a few recipes in the past, but honestly, water is enough as long as I add a bunch of seasoning. Again, I'm adding a jalapeno because a little bit of spice, but if you don't like that, don't worry about it. This is the squeezed lemon, which also adds a really nice fresh citrus taste, and then some soy sauce, which I forgot to show you in the original ingredients, but as always, the recipes are linked below in my blog. I just kind of put some soy sauce in there, maybe like 3 tablespoons, but has a nice little amount of salt and flavor as well. And then this garlic parsley blend, I'm kind of obsessed with and have been putting in everything. And I probably put about a tablespoon of that in. And then I put my veggies in. And I have been putting my veggies in on the top of my pot of my recipe. That's just what my sister suggested. And she uses her Instant Pot all the time. So I trust her. And like I said, this ended up being beautiful. My whole house smells like I've been cooking all day, which I actually really enjoy as I'm editing this. But put the lid on, make sure it's on correctly, make sure your seal is correct, and then all I did is hit the rice button, and it took about 12 minutes for this to fully cook, which is so fast compared to making rice on the stove. Someone also just messaged me and told me to do steel cut oats in here, and they said it's awesome. So I might do that next weekend, and maybe I'll show you that recipe. So this was done as soon as the pressure, built up in there. It took about 15 minutes total. As you can see, there's a lot of liquid in there because I did add more liquid than was necessarily needed, but this is so beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, there's so much flavor in this dish. If you don't like cabbage, you could totally omit it and then it wouldn't be beautiful and purple, but this is actually going to be my lunch for the week. So pretty. I've never found purple rice. I haven't been to enough markets to obviously super hunt it down, but this was delicious. I snacked on it while it was cooling, but this is lunch for the week. Okay, I saved the best recipe for last. So here are the ingredients: some Yukon Gold potatoes, carrots, some nutritional yeast, and I also used some garlic and parsley. Again, like I said, I'm obsessed with it. You can add any kind of seasoning you would want to this vegan cheese sauce. I'm calling it a queso because I'm actually going to mix it in with salsa once it cools, but I won't show you that part. And then I'm putting this all in recycled jars just to kind of be planet safe, if you will. The first thing I need to do is add 3 cups of water to my Instant Pot. Now I'm going to actually reserve this water at the end because it goes back into the recipe. So I actually doubled this recipe. Again, the recipe is in the description box below, but this is not my recipe. This is from Plantiful Kiki over on YouTube and Instagram, and I keep seeing this recipe, but she does it over on a stovetop by boiling it, and I wanted to see if it would work in the Instant Pot just so I could, like I said, keep the heat down in my house because I live in the desert and it's hot. I don't worry about salt, so I do add salt to my food. As a runner, it's very beneficial to me. So I pop this on and then I put it on for 30 minutes is what I put on there for. And as you can see, I open it up and it's beautiful and they're so tender. So I'm just going to scoop those out and put them on the side, and then I'll show you how I drain my water here real quick. But like I said, I did double the recipe. This is a 2-step recipe, so obviously this is step 1, is to make sure you have all your potatoes and carrots cooked. And here, as you can see, I was showing you that I was draining out the water and then making sure I got all the veggies. But you do need the water, so don't throw it away. You need the water. Okay, so like I said, this is a 2-part recipe. First, you're gonna cook your veggies in your Instant Pot, and then you're gonna either add them to a food processor like I am, or a high-speed blender. If you double the recipe and use a high-speed blender, you can probably do it all in one batch, but because I'm using a food processor, I had to split it in half. So you're gonna put your veggies in, and then you're going to put your liquid in. Now, what I would do, because you don't know how much liquid the veggies are holding, is I would add about a cup of the liquid It's supposed to call for 3 cups total, but you would rather add a little less and then be able to add more than to take away. Hopefully that makes sense. But because I had extra veggies on the side, I knew if I added more, I could always add extra veggies and then get the consistency that I want. Those of you who might be doubting how good this cheese sauce is, I cannot. I might eat all of this today. Like, it'll literally be something I make a couple times a week because I'm just sitting here thinking, man, I want to make some roasted potatoes for lunch and then smear this all over it. I'm not kidding. I'm not telling you this is good and I really, really love it. And I don't actually love it. I freaking love it. It's gonna be so good cold, it's gonna be so good hot. I'm here for this. I hope you guys make this recipe because it's that good. For sponsoring this video again. I really appreciate when companies come to me and ask to cooperate with me and partner. It makes creating so much more fun when you get to use different kitchen appliances. Like I said, they did give you all, as my viewers, a discount, so click the link below if you have any questions. You can always let me know and I'll get back to you. I hope you guys have an awesome day and you give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, I hope you consider subscribing for more content like this. Have an awesome day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.